In the south of Thailand, engineers are finishing plans for something the world has argued about for more than 300 years. A shortcut so massive, it could reroute a huge slice of the world's cargo. And 2027 is the year Thailand finally makes its move. Bulldozers, bullet trains, and an entire airport city are all racing toward the same finish line at the same time. Add it all up, and the price tag climbs toward $100 billion. So what is Thailand actually building? And why is the rest of Asia suddenly paying very, very close attention? Let's take a look. To understand Thailand's biggest bet, you first need to look at a tiny stretch of water called the Strait of Malacca. Picture a narrow ocean hallway squeezed between Malaysia, Singapore, and Indonesia. It's crowded, it's shallow, and it's one of the busiest shipping lanes on the planet. Around a quarter of the world's traded goods squeeze through it, along with much of Asia's oil, fuel for factories in China, phones and cars heading to Europe. Coffee, clothes, and computer chips all funnel through this one skinny gap. Here's the problem. That hallway is packed, ships wait in line. Pirates have haunted these waters for centuries, and every captain knows that one accident in the wrong spot could jam up global trade for weeks. So for over 300 years, dreamers have asked the same question. What if you could skip it? What if goods could cross Thailand by land instead of sailing all the way around? Back in the 1600s, people imagined digging a canal straight through the country. The idea was so bold and so expensive that it got shelved again and again. Some feared cutting a canal would literally split the nation in two. Now Thailand has a smarter version of that old dream. And it has a name, the land bridge. Here's the most crazy part. Instead of digging through the country, Thailand plans to build across it. The plan puts two brand new deep-sea ports on opposite coasts. One faces the Gulf of Thailand at Chumphon on the eastern side. The other faces the Andaman Sea at Ranong on the western side. Between them runs a corridor about 90 kilometers long, roughly a 1-hour drive. But this is no ordinary road. Packed into that corridor, you get a 6-lane motorway, high-speed rail tracks, and pipelines, all running side by side like layers in a sandwich. So how does it work? A giant container ship arrives on one coast. Instead of sailing days around the bottom of the map, its cargo gets lifted off, carried across Thailand by train and truck in a matter of hours, then loaded onto a fresh ship waiting on the other side. The cargo hops the country and keeps moving. Thai planners say this could cut shipping time between the Indian and Pacific Oceans by around 4 days and trim costs by about 15%. For companies moving millions of boxes a year, that adds up fast. Now let's talk money, because the number is wild. The land bridge carries a price tag near 997 billion baht. In dollars, that's about 30 billion. To put that in plain terms, it costs more than the entire yearly economy of many countries. And Thailand doesn't plan to pay most of it directly. The government's main job is buying up the land. Private companies from around the world are being invited to fund and run the ports, with construction expected to support more than 100,000 jobs. So why does 2027 matter? Because that's the year the real action starts. After years of studies and paperwork, officials expect to open the bidding to global investors in late 2027. That's the moment the world's biggest port operators and shipping giants get to place their bets. Construction follows, with the first phase aiming to open around 2030. If it works, Thailand stops being a country ships pass by. It becomes the gateway they stop at. The bullet train, built by two giants. While ports rise in the south, something just as dramatic is happening in the center of the country. Thailand is building its first ever high-speed railway, and it's doing it hand in hand with China. Think about that for a second. Thailand has never had a bullet train. Not one. For a country this size, with this many tourists and this much trade, that's a huge gap. The new line aims to fix it. The first stretch runs from Bangkok up to a city called Nakhon Ratchasima, often shortened to Korat. That's about 253 kilometers of track. Today, driving it takes around 4 to 5 hours through traffic. The new trains, built with Chinese technology and cruising at 250 kilometers an hour, would shrink that trip to about 90 minutes. Here's where it gets bigger than one country. This railway is a piece of China's massive Belt and Road Plan, a global web of roads, ports, and rails stretching across dozens of nations. Thailand's line is designed to eventually link up through Laos, connect to China's own network, and one day tie into a dream route running all the way from Kunming in China down towards Singapore, a single ribbon of steel across mainland Southeast Asia. So what's the holdup? Honestly, a lot. Construction on Phase 1 started back in 2017, and progress has crawled. By early 2026, the line sat only about halfway finished. Money disputes between Thailand and China slowed things down. Land issues piled up. And in January 2026, a construction crane on the project collapsed onto a passing passenger train, killing around 30 people in a tragedy that put safety squarely in the spotlight and slowed the work even more. Because of all this, the opening date keeps sliding, now aimed at around 2030. But 2027 is when the momentum really shows. Tunnels are being punched through mountains, including one stretching 5 kilometers long. Stations are taking shape. And the next chunk of the line, running further north toward the Laos border, is lined up and ready to break ground, with its own budget running into the hundreds of billions of baht. Slow? Yes. Stopping? Not a chance. The airport city rising from a navy base. Now, let's fly east to a place called Utapao. For multiple years, Utapao was a quiet military airfield near the beach town of Pattaya, sharing space with the Thai Navy. A few commercial flights came and went, nothing that made headlines. Thailand looked at that sleepy airbase and saw something else. A third great airport for the country, sitting right next to its industrial heartland. Here's the vision. Utapao is being rebuilt into a full international hub, the anchor of a whole new eastern aviation city. We're talking a fresh passenger terminal, a second runway, cargo centers, and aircraft repair hangars, all wrapped inside a special business zone designed to pull in global companies. The scale is huge. The whole project runs around 290 billion baht. The very first stage is being built to handle about 3 million travelers a year, and then it grows in steps to 6 million, 10 million, 12 million, and eventually towards 60 million a year, which would put it in the same league as the world's major gateways. And this is where 2027 gets exciting. The second runway is already under construction. A landmark green light called the Notice to Proceed was issued in April 2026, which basically fired the starting gun after years of delay. A powerful team of Thai companies, including Bangkok Airways, the BTS Group, and a major builder, holds a 50-year deal to develop it. Then comes the piece that makes engineers grin. In 2027, Thai Airways plans to start building a giant, smart aircraft maintenance hub on site, a 13 billion baht facility where planes from across the region can be serviced and repaired. The airport is even designed to run partly on a hybrid power plant that blends solar energy with natural gas. So, a forgotten Navy strip becomes a futuristic airport city. That's the kind of before and after that sounds impossible until you watch the cranes go up, the wild card that ties it all together. Every great plan has one risky piece that everything else leans on. For Thailand, that piece is a high-speed rail line meant to stitch 3 airports together. The idea is beautifully simple. Connect Bangkok's 2 main airports, Don Muang and Suvarnabhumi, to the new hub at Utapao, using one fast train. The 2 Bangkok airports would sit just 20 minutes apart, with the eastern coast pulled within easy reach. Land in the capital, hop the train, and get where you're going before you'd normally clear the parking lot. This line, worth about 224 billion baht, was supposed to be the backbone connecting the whole eastern boom. The bullet trains, the airport city, the industrial zones, all plugged into one spine. Here's the tension. This is the project that has stumbled the hardest. 6 years after the deal was signed, there was little to show beyond stacks of paperwork. Political fights, money arguments, and changing governments kept knocking it off track. At one point, insiders warned the whole thing could quietly collapse. That's what makes 2027 a make-or-break moment. If Thailand can finally lock this train into place, all the other giant projects click together like puzzle pieces and multiply each other's value. If it keeps stalling, the country ends up with brilliant parts that don't quite connect. Billions of dollars are riding on which way it tips. Next project, the smart city nobody's talking about yet. There's one more project hiding in plain sight, and it might be the most futuristic of them all. Alongside the new airport, Thailand is planning an entire smart city from scratch. Officially, it's tucked inside the country's big Eastern Development Zone, built on a stretch of land covering thousands of acres. The plan calls for about 72 billion baht of private investment to create a purpose-built home for high-tech industries, research labs, and the workers who run them. Think planned neighborhoods, digital infrastructure baked in from day one, and business zones designed to attract the kind of companies that build robots, electric cars, and next-generation electronics. And guess when the invitations to global investors are set to go out? Early 2027. That's when we find out who wants in on building a city from a blank page. For a region that started as farmland and factories, growing a smart city next to a brand new airport is the sort of leap that turns a map into science fiction. Why 2027 is the year it all collides? Step back and look at the whole board, and you notice something remarkable. These aren't 5 separate stories, they're one story arriving all at once. The land bridge gives Thailand 2 new coasts to trade from. The bullet train pulls the country closer to China and the rest of the mainland. The airport city opens the skies. The 3-airport link tries to wire everything together. And the smart city gives the whole thing a futuristic front door. There's even quieter work in the background, making it all possible. New double-track rail lines are being extended down the length of the south, reaching toward the border with Malaysia, so goods can roll from one end of the country to the other without stopping. Add it up, and you get a nation trying to reinvent what it is. For generations, Thailand has been known for its beaches, its temples, and its food. Now it wants to be known as the crossroads of Asia, the place where the ships, the trains, and the planes all meet. The dreams are enormous, the delays are real, the money is staggering, and 2027 is the year the country stops planning and starts pouring concrete on nearly all of it at the same time. So here's the question worth sitting with. If even half of these projects come together the way Thailand hopes, a huge slice of the world's cargo could soon skip the old sea route entirely and cut straight across a single country. That would shift trade, money, and power in ways that reach far beyond Southeast Asia. But building the future is one thing, finishing it is another. Thailand has a long history of giant plans that got tangled in politics and delay. So the real drama isn't whether these projects sound amazing, it's whether the country can actually pull them off before the window closes. Curious to have your thoughts in the comments section. See you in the next video. Cheers.